Hi guys, Victor from Tech Heads here. Before we get started today, I would like to announce once again that our Patreon is officially live, but this time with some extra features. When you sign up, you officially become a producer of the show. This means that you will get access to exclusive behind-the-scenes content such as our extensive show notes. On top of this, you will also have access to the episodes 4 days earlier than everybody else. If this sounds good to you, feel free to check it out at patreon.com/techheads.
4, 3,
Now
2,
on with the show.
1. So, here we go.
How you all feel tonight?
We're live. Yeah, let's clap.
All right.
Cool. Okay, let's try this again. Wow, that's like this is like our first time I feel like starting an episode over. I don't think we've ever done that, have we?
I know. Yeah, that's true.
Wow. Well, it was a minor hiccup, but we're gonna try this again, guys. Welcome back to Tech Heads. It is we tried to figure this out. I actually don't remember if we figured it out, but it's like daylight savings day or something. Daylight savings happened. Like, what's the? We still don't know like the proper way to be like it's daylight savings. You know.
Yeah.
Happy daylight savings though. It's our spring forward special, and we tried to talk about Benjamin Franklin and daylight savings, but turns out I actually don't know anything about it, but it has something to do with candles and economy and saving money. So, yeah. But then I did find out that we officially started implementing daylight savings time in the United States in the 70s. I think it was during or after the energy crisis in the 70s. I don't really remember, but yeah, that was a fun little factoid that I learned recently. But it's funny though, because I feel like anytime there's a holiday that nobody knows how it happened, like Valentine's Day or like St. Patrick's Day, like I feel like I always learn like, oh, why do we have this holiday like that day or when it's coming up, and then I immediately just like throw it out of my brain and I forget about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of weird. I mean, I think it's good. I particularly I like this time change, where we get more sunlight, because I feel like I don't get as sleepy, because I mean, honestly, the last 2 months of the year, it's 5 o'clock and it's already like pitch black. So it's so hard I feel like I'm already yawning at like 5, 6 o'clock, ready to go to sleep, So I feel like I'm more productive on these with the time change.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on that. It's just annoying a little bit. All the benefits offset this, because I do love that when I'm done working, it's still daylight out, which is just amazing. But the only downside is that my blinds aren't really like good at blocking sunlight. So once the sun comes up at like when it's in the middle of summer, when it's like 6 o'clock and the sun starts coming up, like I'm awake. And I'm like, right. I don't have to be awake right now, but whatever. I mean, there's worse things happening, so I can't really complain. I
know. Yeah, it's kind of crazy that you said that. I mean, I know that we're not in the summer yet, but it's just like literally, one step away, because this year has been flying by. I mean, it's already, mid-March. So, yeah, exciting stuff. I'm really looking forward to it this year, because I might have, alluded to this in like other episodes, but, we're trying to get rid of my car and we're getting a motorcycle. Because Sam knows how to ride a motorcycle. Yeah. Sam has known how to ride a motorcycle for a long time, and she still has like that, the endorsement on her license. So yesterday we spent all day across, driving across Orlando to go to a couple of places, look at bikes. We're not going to buy anything, too expensive. We're getting like a pre-owned bike, but something that's in good shape, and hopefully that has like 2 seats, so I can go riding with her. And I'm also gonna take lessons. I mean, I know she's gonna teach me, but I'm also gonna take lessons to learn how to ride a motorcycle, because I remember, I don't know why I never went through with it, but I remember like before I finished, I don't know if it was like before I finished the UCF or like right around that time, I was like, oh, I really want to take lessons to learn how to ride a bike. And I never went through with it, but I feel like now, we have the time and we're both like pretty excited about getting a motorcycle. So once we do, that's definitely going to be like one big thing that I want to, to devote. And I want to make sure I ride like a little bit every week after we get one. So in the summer, like we can go out, and I'll let Sam like do her thing because she's a far more experienced driver or rider. But I'm still looking forward to learning so much. So like we're both really invested on it. We almost got a bike yesterday. We literally got to the place because Sam had we went to that place because of one of their postings online. And coolest shop ever. I mean, they have really high-end bikes like BMWs, Harleys, and Indians and all that stuff. And those are like really expensive. But we went there to look at this one that was, within our budget. And unfortunately, an hour before we got there, they had sold it. So we were like,
of course.
I know, right? Just our luck. But yeah, but we're still looking. And I'm pretty pumped, I have to say. I'm really excited for this. It should be fun.
Just you and Sam on a Harley Davidson chopper riding around in the most obnoxious bike ever. That sounds so funny.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've always liked like the crotch rockets, the Ninjas, the Kawasaki's.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
Yeah.
But I feel like, maybe in a couple of years, like if I stick with this whole thing and I'm like, oh, I really like, riding bikes. But for now, we're looking at something more like a cruiser, but not like the big ones that you see going down to, Bike Week in Daytona. Something more like smaller, that doesn't weigh too much too, because I feel like, we're both not like really big that we can handle like holding this, a huge bike that weighs so much. But yeah, it's we saw some really cool ones at the places that we went to yesterday, and it's just so cool. I told her, I was like, it's more exciting looking at bikes than cars because I feel like there's so many different ones, like the varieties are just like, yeah, I was going a little crazy at one of the places that we went to. It was so cool. So I'm pretty pumped.
That is the last thing I expected to hear from you today. That is crazy.
Well, that's good,
so
right?
Cool. If you guys aren't like for Halloween, if you guys don't dress as Catwoman, I'm gonna be so disappointed. That's like
I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you get a motorcycle, obviously. Wow. Is it gonna be like where you have like a seat, like not a seat, but like a backrest?
The ones that we're looking at might have like a small one, some do, some don't, but like a tiny one because, the one that we saw that she test rode one yesterday that was a Honda Shadow. So it was not too big. But because I feel like I also wanted to look like, sporty, not like a bus because some of them were so massive, but the ones that I really like are called like the sport bikes, which they are, damn it. I mean, I feel like there is a good, do you remember the first Tomb Raider movie with, Angelina Jolie? I don't know. Like there were a few scenes that she rode a bike and it was more like that style of bike. It wasn't, like, it wasn't the crotch rockets, like the Ninja and such. But they were really comfortable and, like the riding position is more like you're sitting down, instead of like hunched over. So yeah, it was, we saw a bunch of
Honda
those.
What?
Honda Shadow is the one that she test rode. So we're kind of like, it might be like something around like that or.
Those are so sick.
Yeah. Yeah,
wow.
It looked really good. The one that she took out for a little bit, although it didn't seem to be in really bad shape, it had a lot of mileage, so we were like, that's probably not a good idea. Her dad also knows a lot about bikes and, he's had bikes too. So she was talking to him and he said, well, maybe I probably wouldn't get it, and I was like, well, yeah, your dad knows because it would also suck to like buy a bike and then have to like, right after that have to start buying parts and all that stuff, and like repair it or whatever. So yeah, we're gonna look at something more, I think, newer and not with like crazy mileage, because yeah, I mean, it's I'm trying to see it like also as a cost saving measure, getting rid of the car, because I feel like I don't want that expense anymore, but I also don't want to put everything I would be paying for my car like now towards a bike, so
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. But it's exciting stuff, and I feel like we're gonna make the most of it. The weather down here is good, like to ride bikes. So so yeah, we're more to come. As soon as we find one, I'll be sure to mention it and send you pictures.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, it's probably a pretty awesome call. I wish I could get rid of my car. I mean, I just got it and I love it so much, but geez, like, did I know gas was going to be almost $6 here? No, I didn't think so. Like, crazy.
That's what
I was was looking at, because I was trying to go to Florida in like a month or so, and a couple weeks ago when I was looking at flights, they were like normal priced, like nothing out of the ordinary whatsoever. And I was looking yesterday to actually like get my ticket. I was like, okay, let's do it, and I couldn't find a ticket under like $800.
No way.
From here to like St. Pete or Orlando, like any of those were just like almost $800 because of the gas. I'm sure, like, it's just ridiculous. So I guess I'm chilling here, even though the world's back open. I was excited to go home, but I'm not sure. Once we get the prices back down, I'll be back out there, guys. I know you're begging for me to come out there, but I don't know.
I know, yeah, it's rough. I mean, I'm sure that it's much like the price is much higher for you guys over there, but I don't know if I've ever seen gas as expensive as it is now, because like everywhere we went to yesterday, it was like $4.40. So I had to drive a little Corolla, and Sam had to fill up the tank, and it was $50. When I got the car, it used to cost me half that to fill up the tank.
Right.
And that was just, sure, it was 3 years ago. So, no pandemic, no, war, but still, it's just
no
like
podcast.
no podcast. Yeah. It's still such a different, a different world and a time that we live in, so it's kind of eerie, but I was like, I mean, I guess we're getting a bike for sure now, might as well. I was slowly getting on board with that, but now, I mean, after seeing, like all the options, and also seeing that there's a very fun element to it, I think it's going to be like, hopefully it's going to be our thing. I told Sam, I was like, when we have days off, we can go out and,
right.
I don't know, like, we can't take the dog with us, but we can go out and, like, if we want to stop and get like some food, we
get
can.
A sidecar for the dog.
I know she said that, but I was like, no, poor Augie. He's he'll be so scared
with the goggles and the hat.
I know. Yeah. So I think that this is gonna be, like a thing that we can do together, and it should be really fun. So I'm pretty pumped. Yeah.
Let us know. We'll post it on Patreon so you guys can see the motorcycle.
Sure. Yeah.
Do they? I'm sure this is such a silly question, but like, do they make like the big motorcycle companies now? Do they all have like the electric versions of their bikes as well?
That's
EVs
a good
for
question.
short, I guess, instead of an EV. But
I know. I'm not sure. I've never looked into that. I mean, I'm just learning, like even like the terminology, because I've heard of brands, like the big ones that you see everywhere, like Harleys, BMWs, Honda, Kawasaki, Yamaha, all that stuff. But I don't even know like how you refer to things when you're talking about, like the like what is how many cc's, or like how many gears and all this other stuff, because I really don't have like an ounce of knowledge in mechanics, so that goes for cars and bikes, but that's a good question. I mean, maybe that's something to come. Oh really? I bet they're expensive.
So it looks like, okay, this is just from one quick Google search, but mostly I was seeing electric, like those bicycles that are half pedal, half electric, but there are a couple companies I'm seeing, like Zero Motorcycles. They make 100% electric motorcycles, and then there's oh, okay. Harley Davidson is making them, I think.
Ooh.
Okay, that answers the question, though. Yeah, it looks like the companies are hopping on the motorcycles as well. That's cool. This is a super funny transition. But I just read something that came from Uber. They're saying that they're going to start charging extra fees to the people they're driving for just because gas is so expensive. They're going to put in like, I don't know, 35 or 45 cents. And then this goes for Uber Eats drivers too. They're going to put an extra fee for the deliveries and the rides because of the gas.
Damn.
Yeah, so here's a quote, actually. So the entirety of the surcharge will be passed on to the drivers, and the plan is for the surcharge to be in place for the next 60 days. However, Winship cautions that, I don't know who Winship is. This is probably the middle of the article. But let's see. Winship cautions that we will continue to monitor gas prices and may make additional changes. And this temporary fuel surcharge will even be in place for rides or deliveries done in an electric vehicle too. So like even if you're an electric vehicle, you're still going to get charged the fee.
Oh wow.
Which is according to Uber, this is supposed to be an incentive for drivers to transition to EVs, which is like, okay, like if you're an Uber driver, it's really unlikely that you have the disposable income to put towards an electric vehicle unless you're, doing it for fun or whatever. But if that's your full-time job, like it's not as easy for them,
Right.
Obviously supply chain constraints, just low inventory. They're even more expensive than ever just because of all of that. Like it's even harder than now. And they're expecting them to be like, oh, just get an EV. Like it's just so silly to me. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, it's just like no sense of reality, I feel like.
Yeah, not at all. Just so out of touch. I actually just heard that there was like, I think there was on Stephen Colbert, I heard that he said, he was like going off about gas prices or whatever, and how it is in response to, the whole Russia-Ukraine thing. And he was saying, I guess, quote unquote, like, if this means, giving it to Russia and like beating them down, then I'm all for paying more for gas. And, obviously he is worth, like not hundreds, maybe tens of millions of dollars.
Right.
And then at the end, he's like, you know what? It actually doesn't even matter to me because I have a Tesla. And then like the crowd like cheered and went crazy because they thought it was such a cool thing for him to say. But it's like, okay, get off your high horse. Like,
yeah, right.
most of the crowd that are even in there probably don't have the money for a Tesla or whatever. So it's just like, geez, these people, it's just
I know.
insane.
Yeah, you always get lectured by, people that don't have to worry about money. So I'm just like, yeah, just shut up. Like, if you can no longer relate, like when a dollar more in gas prices is, is part of your daily life, moving forward, because like you have so much, disposable income, you won't even feel it. So I am just like, oh God, here's another rich person, showing how rich they are. So
yeah, I was just texting my brother yesterday. Yeah, me too. No, it's just that weird thing that kind of threw me off. But anyway, I was texting my brother yesterday, and I was just like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to make it to Florida. Like gas and everything is just crazy. I think that's affecting the plane ticket prices. And he's like, oh yeah, how much is it out there? And I was like, it's almost $6. Like it's crazy. He's like, that sucks. I have a Tesla because he has a Tesla. I'm like, fuck you.
Oh boy, yeah.
He's like, yeah, that blows.
I know.
It's like, am I texting Colbert right now?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I feel like like you said, Uber Eats is going to go up in price, and it's not just because, and not like indirectly things are going to go up in price as if inflation wasn't enough, so it's one way or another, your brother who has a Tesla and Stephen Colbert are going to be paying more for something. So they might not be paying more for gas, but they'll be paying more in something else. So it's like,
exactly.
I mean, what are you talking about? You know?
To these kinds of people, it doesn't make a dent. So who cares?
Yeah, right. Unfortunately.
Love you, John. Anyway, so we had the Apple event. That was interesting. I was kind of not disappointed, but I don't know, pretty underwhelmed for sure for me.
Yeah.
But there was one thing that kind of stood out that caught my eye that I'm kind of actually considering now. For the cheapest one, because it's so expensive, but like even the cheapest one, it's like it might be worth it. So we had the Mac Studio come out, and to my understanding, it's like an advanced Mac Mini or a downgraded Mac Pro in a way, right? It's like it's between those two.
Right. That's what I noticed too. And the funny thing is, when I was prepping, you know, like or I was reviewing notes for today, I saw that Apple is not going to make the iMac 27-inch computer anymore. They don't have that plan in their roadmap. So I thought that it was like, okay, so one way or another, you have to get, I mean, you don't have to get the monitor that they released, you know, which costs, well, like $2,000. Is it close to that or something like that? It was like $2,000 just for the monitor, I believe, or $1,599 or something. I don't know. I can't remember. But one way or another, they're going to be charging, you know, like a huge amount, because if you want to bundle those two up, you know, the Mac Studio and the monitor, yeah, you're going to be looking at like well over $3,000. I think it was more like $5,000 or something, you know.
Yeah.
But that, I guess, yeah, they have the M1 Ultra now to get more cheesy.
I know, it's a power horse, and if I get one, we won't have to restart podcasts over because of connection issues. So,
yeah,
might just do it for the show.
Looks powerful.
Yeah, it's so interesting though. They put these weird rectangular ports on it now that I feel like I've seen before. I think it's called USB. It's just it's psycho. Like they're going back. They're snip snap. Future me, edit that in from The Office.
Snip snap.
They're putting these USB ports back on it, which kind of relief, I guess. But it's like, pick one. Like, are you gonna torture us with these Thunderbolt things, or are you gonna like put them back on everything that you continue to build now? So I don't know. It is nice though, because you are, I guess, shelling out like thousands of dollars. So are you going to put a dongle on your Mac Studio like that? Just it would look so stupid.
It would. Yeah, that's why I feel like despite, you know, there being a lot of consistency with their product lineup, you still see inconsistencies every now and then, you know, like you just said, with the USB 3.0 ports, and you don't see that on any of their other products, unless maybe the iMac 21.5 inches. I don't even know if that one has them, but it's,
no.
Yeah, right. It doesn't, right? I mean, the laptop I just got only has, it has like more ports and everything, but not USB 3.0. So
right.
I don't know.
I'm okay with it on the. I'm okay with it on the MacBook. I feel like I'm fine with that. But something that's considered more of a desktop setup, you got to have the ports, man. Give us all of them. So like I guess I could say that I'm relieved that they did it in a way.
Right.
What was I just also going to say? The commercial for it. I actually thought it was really cool. That little girl running around inside on the motherboard and looking at the chips, and the guy like plugging in the cables into the ports, and she's like avoiding them. I thought it was actually kind of cool, and I like the song in it. So it was a really good commercial to me. So yeah, we'll see what happens. If it's widely popular, they'll keep building them and make them better. Yeah, so we'll see. Was there anything else in the Apple event that sparked your interest?
Well, they did release or refresh the iPhones, you know, with that new, just by coming out with the iPhone 13 and that forest green color, and the iPhone 13 Pro with the forest green, which, yeah, sure, it looks nice. I guess I watched MKBHD's short video about it, and he didn't even do like a full dedicated video about the phones. It's not worth it. He's like, I can cover everything we need to in 1 minute, so he did a short. And I think, I like the fact that he said exactly what it is. He called it by what it is. He said that Apple is just trying to make sure that the phone remains relevant, so it's kind of like, okay, let's just make a new color so people can talk about this again, get it in the news cycles again, like blah, blah, blah. On podcasts, just like we're doing now. But ultimately, like, no difference. It's just a different color. I don't know if there was like any hardware, software changes. But yeah, I don't think that anything really stood out. I know Sam was looking forward to this event because she was hoping for a new iMac. I don't know if they were going to do implement the new chips on them, the newer chips on them. But yeah, I guess, I don't know. That remains to be seen. So nothing that really, caught my eye that I was like holding my breath for. I'm pretty happy with the laptop I got. I don't even know if I'll be getting like another Apple device anytime soon, because I just got the phone too when it came out a couple months ago, in this laptop. So I'm pretty good. I need to give my checkbook a break.
Checkbook, yeah. I actually just got checks for the first time. I ordered them from my bank, and now I feel like a grown ass man. I have checks, and I've never written it. I have written a check for work, but with my personal checks, I've never actually done that. So I'm waiting for the day I can pull up my checkbook and be like, how much for the fountain or whatever the hell I'm doing.
I know.
Instead of just be like, you got Venmo.
Right. Yeah.
It's like when you hang up a home phone, like the power be like, good day, sir, and then you hang up. Right. It's kind of like that. You can just like whip out the checkbook, but now just like being like, oh, what's your Venmo code? It's not as exciting.
Yeah, I remember I ordered like a box of checks years ago, and I still have them. I'm still like on the first stack. It's like I never use it. But every now and then there's something that comes up, like that I might have to write a check for. Very rare, but it's handy to have them, so you don't have to like wait or anything like that, or get a money order. So yeah, it's adulting.
I don't even know what that is.
Money orders. Yeah.
You just order money. He's like, hi, I would like some money, please. I also just saw, I think it was more of a discovery, and it's not really officially happening just yet, but it's like basically official. So Windows 11, there's been like some betas, I guess, that people have been playing around with for the update. And I guess somebody accidentally found out that the File Explorer is getting tabs on Windows 11. So now you can have tabs, just like, on
thank
like
God.
Finder. You can do tabs, which is so nice. Like I actually use it all the time.
Wait, you can do tabs on the Finder?
Yeah, you just do Command T.
On the Finder? Really?
Yeah.
I've never used it. Damn,
yeah. It's the best. You don't have. Sometimes I do Command N for that new window, but yeah.
If you do you're right. Okay, yeah, I have. Oh my gosh, I need to start doing that. I don't know. I always open a new window all the time, but thank God that Microsoft is doing that on Windows 11.
I know.
Damn, nice.
Yeah, it's the Finder. Yeah, not Finder. File Explorer has been around since Windows 95. It's like, geez, like why did it take you so long, man? I don't know. I think the big two, Microsoft and Apple, I think they both have like the funniest little things that people gripe on about. Like what's with Apple's mouse, the Magic Mouse or whatever the hell it is, how the charging port is on the bottom.
I know that looks so crappy.
I think that's crazy. And people argue who have it, obviously, like, oh, well, I only charge it every 3 months. I am never in a situation where I need to charge it and use it at the same time. Like, okay, that's fair. That's totally fine. But like all the mouse, like, okay, the one we have, the Logitech Master 3, MX Master 3, like, it's great. It's just right there. And there's
Yeah.
been a handful of times where, I mean, the battery's great. Like, I'm probably in the same boat. I only charge it like every few months. But when I do, like, I'm in the middle of work. So, like,
Yeah.
I plug it in, and then I can still use it, and it
Right.
doesn't interrupt my workflow. So, I mean, just that is worth it for me to never
Right.
get an Apple mouse until they fix that. So, I don't know.
Exactly.
They're both just funny. They do funny, silly things.
Yeah. Yeah, it was that's really good news. I'm looking out for actually checked like either last week or the week before for the update to Windows 11. It's still not showing on my machine, so they're, I guess, cycling through like a bunch of I don't know, users or like machines. So like, not
Yeah.
everyone does it all at the same time. But I do know there was a couple of people asked on like the work Slack channel, like one of them, like how the ones that already have Windows 11, like how they're finding it. And the overall like feedback was pretty positive. So I'm looking forward to it. When it comes out, hopefully it will be out long enough where I won't be like, oh crap, I immediately miss, Windows 10. So I'll probably run that, update to like when my computer notifies me, just because I'm
Yeah,
excited to try it out, but it's still not available on my machine, so I'll have to wait a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that too, Internet Explorer, Sayonara.
Oh yeah, was that official already? I know that it was coming out.
Yeah, it came up in
damn.
Slack, and that's where I heard the news just during work. I was like, oh shoot, no way.
Yeah.
So, no more checking that browser when I'm doing things at work. So that's nice. Just one less one to worry about.
I know.
I was surprised though.
thankfully.
We were talking about browsers at work, and one of the developers, he's like, "Yeah, I only use Edge, and I love it."
Oh wow, that's
yeah,
surprising.
I was like, I mean, that's cool to hear that somebody's backing it. I don't know, but
Yeah,
I
think
I'm new to Firefox, but because of you, Anna, I'm a Firefox head now, and I love it.
I know. I've been using Firefox for years. Even before I think I got into development. I think like even back in, like in university, like UCF, before the boot camp or anything like that, I think I was already using Firefox then. But yeah, I really like Firefox. I've tried Brave browser, because of its like privacy conscious like efforts. But I know that Firefox also does a good job at that. But yeah, Chrome does have like a few things here and there. Like for work, I use Chrome primarily. Like that's my daily driver.
Yeah,
but
same.
I have to test, like things every now and then. So I have Firefox and Edge installed, like to take a look at like the different behavior of things or like bugs in
Yep.
different browsers. But yeah, it'll be cool not to have like one more to test that, test it out on, like with IE 11 or whatever it is. I don't even know if that's the version, but anyway, yeah, I'm happy with the Firefox primarily like for personal use, and then Chrome for a couple of other things. But
Yeah, and I wish I was
oopsie,
using.
I think it froze. No.
Oh, I could hear you.
Oh, you could. Okay, it froze just for a second, but there you are.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, you were still there
All right.
on my end, so hopefully it
Okay.
doesn't hit me now. Geez, we just can't get
There'll
a
be-
break, huh?
There will be a nice screamy like 2 seconds when you go back through the footage. No.
Exactly. Oh, guys, forget about doing a live show if I still have
I
this
know.
shitty MacBook. When I get a new MacBook, we'll do a live show. I would love to do that,
Cool.
like a live stream.
Yeah, let's
What
do
were you
it.
going to say?
No, I was going to say, so I came across, I think I mentioned this in our previous episode, the whole NVIDIA. Oh, yeah, because we were talking about pwned.com or whatever,
Yeah.
the source where you can check if like your email has been associated with like a leak. So I know that I mentioned something about like the 70,000 employee records from NVIDIA that got leaked, because of like a hacking group or whatever that's holding them ransom. They came about like 1 terabyte of data that from NVIDIA, which is all like proprietary technology. It's what is it? Schematics, firmware, and drivers about their GPUs, because NVIDIA is known for their GPUs. And so, yeah, there was like more that came out this week. So apparently they are not asking for money. What they want out of this whole thing, in order to not release further information about, the data that they have from NVIDIA, the hackers want them to remove this feature from the GPUs called the LA jar feature, which it limits the hash rate and it affects mining and gaming performance. So they said unless they commit to removing this feature, which just came out last year, they will not, unless, NVIDIA commits to it, agrees to the hackers' demands, they will release like every single piece of information they were able to hack, which includes like their NVIDIA's technology, so it's so crazy that they're going for this, because apparently this LA jar feature on the GPUs, it affects like primarily like Ethereum mining. So these guys are like, either you do this or else, or we're going to release everything. And it's a lot of information. It sounds like it would be very detrimental, to the company if it all comes out. But I just wanted to follow up on it. I'm sure there will be more to come, so I'll keep on like an eye out for this one, because this is just so juicy.
yeah, you're doing field work for the show. I love it. God, could you imagine having to deal with that? Like where we work, for instance, like if there was like some sort of ransom sort of situation, or like we have, oh my gosh, the stress, I couldn't even imagine what I would be doing. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of I don't know if it's been released. That's something I might be like looking out for, like how their corporate network got hacked, like what vulnerability did they exploit, or was it social engineering? I don't know, but
true, yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested.
It was
to
Razzlecon.
See. Maybe, yeah.
It was her.
But yeah, this is, I don't know, still definitely more to come on this topic, but I just wanted to put that out there. I was like, damn, these guys, like, it's not even about the money. It's like, you better, release this or undo what you did, NVIDIA, or, we're going to put all your shit out on display.
I mean, NVIDIA, you better make the right call.
I know, right?
I mean, I luckily don't have anything affiliated with NVIDIA to worry about.
Right.
Yeah, isn't their stuff really hard to get a hold of anyway? Like their graphics cards and such, like it's still like impossible.
Yeah. No, I mean, we've known for a long time that the like GPUs, are so hard to find, and if you do, it might be through a scalper who is charging like, X times the price, the MSRP price. So yeah, it's kind of it's gone like crazy, this whole idea of mining, and it's impossible to get like a GPU now, but yeah, I guess we'll see what happens with this. But okay, so I had another interesting piece of news about, I don't know if you heard that Amazon is doing a $10 billion stock buyback because they want to, they want to retain, or like they want to regain control of their shares, so they're buying stock back. But what they're also doing is they're doing a stock split. And this was really interesting to learn. So if you looked like a few days or like just yesterday or Friday, 2 days ago, I looked at the average price of an Amazon share, and it was at the time $2.8K. So like $2,800. And it's been one that I've always kept my eye on, but it's so expensive. Like one share is almost 3
Crazy.
grand. Yeah. So with this stock split, what's going to happen is instead of owning a single share, Amazon, like let's say, if I own one Amazon share, they're going to give me 20 shares instead of one. So you just divide that amount, by 20. So like, let's just round it up to 3K. So each share would be $150 instead of one share being, $3,000. And what they're doing is to make it more accessible for like other investors, like retail investors, to
Right.
invest in the company. So I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. And it also, I think, might drive that price up, a bit further because it's more accessible. More people will be able to get into it. So the demand is higher. So I was like, okay, I want to keep an eye out for Amazon because I've always wanted to get into it, but I just could never justify paying that much for a single share, or a single option. But
Right.
I don't know. Maybe the time is right.
I mean, you saying that kind of gets me hungry to get some now too. So do you think that's going to be a good call? Because I guess, like, I don't know, it always seems like the exact opposite of what people want to happen with their stocks and whatnot actually happens. But
Yeah.
it seems really like a good call, I guess, because then even like the everyday person will want to get their hands on a whole share that they can, or quote unquote, a whole share share split. I don't really know how that's going to turn out. So we might have to we'll take note to follow up on that maybe next episode, see how it's going. So
Yeah, I think I might have missed when the split is going to happen, but it's coming up soon. So I guess we'll see how the market reacts to it. But the one thing that I was reading more about, because I'm like, okay, when do I need to get in on it? If I think, if I want to invest, do I have to buy a full share now and then before the split? Or buy it at the split, because the thing is, if I buy one share now, that's close to 3K, and then the split happens, and then the demand for that stock goes up because it's much cheaper. It's not going to be 3 grand. It's going to be $150. Then will that drive the amount up? I mean, obviously it's investing in aka legalized gambling, so we don't know how this is going to turn out. But at the same time, I'm like, I wonder if I have to buy it before the split and then hopefully get some return, on that investment, because it'll be driving up the prices higher. But I don't know, we'll see. I'm still contemplating, but keep you posted.
yeah, I would go in, with maybe a couple bucks that you're not afraid to lose. That goes to all of you listening as well. Don't just, hop on something crazy without really expecting the worst and not being ready for the repercussions. So, yeah, just be careful out there, guys. It's a crazy, crazy world.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I think I would like to share my recommendation for this week, actually. So,
cool.
We've already talked about him before, but okay. So I guess I have 2. I forgot about this one, but Wes Boss. If you're listening to this podcast, you've probably heard of him, but he's a successful developer. He has a podcast as well called Syntax with Scott Talinsky, I think is his name. Good podcast. Check it out. But he has this repo on GitHub, and it's called JavaScript 30, and it's a 30-day JavaScript challenge that I think it's been around for a while. But it's cool. I think each one for each day is a cool little project that it includes the answers that you can look at after you're done to see if you did it. But it's mini little projects. I think the first one is how would you implement a drum kit on the browser, and he gives you the audio, he gives you the HTML setup. You just have to handle the JavaScript behind it to make it actually work on the click, which it's a great day one, I feel like. But then I think they get harder and harder. Maybe I'm not too sure about that, but that was one. And then the other GitHub repository that I found is called the this spell book of modern web dev, and it's a big picture, thesaurus, and taxonomy of modern JavaScript web development. So it has all the nice topics and such that might be a little more difficult to grasp if you're just reading it. But then there's like cool little GIFs throughout the essays that demonstrate what's happening and like explain it really well. So that one's really cool too. It's like you would just search on GitHub like spell book, and it would be the first one for sure because it's so popular. Yeah. Did you have a recommendation?
Yeah. So I tried, I remember like when we started the podcast, I used to talk about taking pre-workout for to go to work or to code. And I was like, oh my God, I'm on fire. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that again, but I needed a boost. And I feel like coffee just isn't cutting it. So I came across these over the counter, like energy pills called Energize. And it's like a straight up caffeine pill. And let me tell you the boost that you get when I took only one pill. But I was like, this is really good. But it's not like crazy,
Wait,
like
it's a pill?
Yeah, it's a pill. It's called Energize.
Oh my God.
I know. And I was like, because
geez.
now the thing is, it's not even like the coding. Sometimes in the morning, I'm not like the biggest morning person. I'm fine doing like just having a coffee to work and stuff. But I want to get back to the gym and, like be more active and stuff. So I was like, I need a little something to get me started. So that's the one thing that I tried out. Go at, like, if anyone wants to try that out, like do so at your own risk.
Oh my God.
But it does work.
It sounds like you went to a 7-Eleven and saw these on the counter as you were buying bubble gum, and you're like, oh, give me the Energizer pill too.
It wasn't 7-Eleven, but it was CVS. So they're everywhere.
Shout out CVS. We'll put the Instagram below.
Yeah. So I don't have like another techie recommendation, but this one is something I just found out about. 1-800-CONTACTS kept texting me about doing online exams, and I was like, what is that about? So apparently you can do an online eye exam, and it's $20. So I had never known about that. And I realized because I'm coming up on like my, time of the year to get it renewed, to get my eyes checked. And I was like, oh, I should probably give it a try, because apparently they have free eye exam. It's not even going to be $20 until Tuesday. So I was like, if I'm going to try it out and it's, and it's free, why not? So
yeah, if you're listening to this, it's too late.
Oh yeah, sorry.
So
it will
funny.
cost you the $20.
You're gonna have to pay $20.
Right. But I just wanted to mention that because I thought it was kind of cool. That's all I had.
I think Warby Parker does the same thing, because I have Warby Parker, and I was getting prescription sunglasses because it's getting sunny out, and I would like to see while I put my sunglasses on. And it I don't know. It didn't know that I had because I hadn't logged into like the app or whatever. I was always doing it on my computer. So it was saying that I needed to like put in my prescription. I was like, what the hell? I already have that loaded on there. And then it said you could like take an eye exam on the app. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. So that was the first time I came across that. So that's cool that 1-800-CONTACTS are doing a similar sort of thing.
Yeah.
So weird though. Like, I bet optometrists are pissed.
I know, yeah, and it's a fraction of the price for me. I don't think that like insurances cover that, so it's out of pocket. Like when you do pay.
What? Yeah, they do.
Do they? The online one?
Oh yeah, no, sorry, not the online. I thought you meant eye exams.
No, yeah,
general,
the online ones, right? But it could save me a trip, because last year when I went, oh my gosh, it was. There was I made an appointment, and then you have to wait. I was at the place for like an hour and a half, and I was like, oh, if I could do this from the convenience of my place, it would be really nice. So, I'm going to try it since they still have the free promo going on, and see if it's kind of matches like with the prescription that I have right now. But I don't know. I'm still kind of like holding out to get LASIK done at some point. We'll just have to see like when I'll be able to do it. But yeah, that's those are the recommendations I had, like a caffeine boost and a free online exam. Yeah.
Wow. Solid. Yeah, this episode was all over the place. I love it.
I know.
I'm kind of thinking we should maybe do these a little more often instead of like, because I don't know. I feel like sometimes when people put on the episode, I don't want them to be like, oh, here we go. Here's another fucking lecture on a Sunday. Like, I don't want to deal with that. So
right.
I don't know. Maybe this format might be a little better occasionally. And then like, sometimes if something crosses our desk where it's like a specific topic thing, then we'll be like, oh, we have to do a whole episode on this, So
right. Yeah, we should
giving
do
you
it.
listeners the inside scoop right here. You're included in the meeting. Let's see. Was there anything else?
No, that's all I have. I already told you about my newfound passion of bikes, even though I can't even ride one. Yeah, it's funny. At the one place that we went to, the big store that we went to yesterday, I decided to try on, the helmets, because I had no idea what my size was. And, yeah, I definitely, like as soon as we get a bike, have to get a helmet to go with it. Sam
What's the
found
unit of measurement for a helmet? Is it
well, you
inches,
can, you can. It's gonna depend on the brand. So you might as well just measure like the diameter, like of your melon with like a Sam used like a little piece of yarn, to measure it, and then most of the time when you're gonna order it, they have like a sizing chart, and then you can just go by the inches, So I already know, like for this one brand, I actually know like exactly what helmet I want to get, but I'm not gonna get it now until we have the bike, So yeah, I'm pretty pumped. It's another cool, exciting, like having a fun accessory, to ride around and.
Wow, you're gonna be like what's her name from the Matrix, Trinity.
Yeah, that's the goal. No, yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm hoping that we can find a bike soon so I can learn, and it'll probably be like a hobby thing, like going on rides, on the weekends and stuff. So we're both really looking forward to it.
Are you guys gonna get cool ass leather jackets and such too?
Probably, yeah. I feel like maybe in the summer we might be able to like get away with not needing them as much. But like even today, it's windy and far cooler, so I feel like it would be really chilly without like a good jacket. So yeah, I think that'll be in the books for like later on. We'll just focus on first finding the bike and then getting the helmet so we can like ride around, and then I'll be taking some lessons.
Yeet, that sounds awesome. So then it's like stick shift kinda, right?
Yeah, I was watching, Sam was explaining to me how that works, but I also watched like a couple of YouTube videos, and so like it is like on your left foot, like you do the up, like down. I think down is for first or neutral, and then you just shift up, like you shift up, to go up the gears the faster you go. But yeah, like you still have, like the clutch on your left hand, and then you give it some gas with your right hand. But clearly I don't know what I'm talking about and I feel like it doesn't make any sense until I actually try it out on a bike. But it doesn't seem like it would be, like all that hard to pick up, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to get an update on that. You might be eating your words, hopefully not, but
I know. Yeah. I mean, in the beginning, it'll probably be, something new. But yeah, like with more and more practice, I'm sure I'll be able to pick it up.
Cool. Well, let us know. Be safe once you're on it, obviously.
Yeah, we'll be.
Let's see. Is there anything else, guys?
Gonna go enjoy this nice day now.
Yeah. I wish it was the same out here. It's kind of ugly today, but we had like a handful of days in a row with really nice weather. So, yeah.
Nice.
Well,
cool.
Go enjoy your 23-hour day. Tech heads out. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.